For 7 years, the valiant Christian king Charlemagne has made war against the Saracens in Spain. Only one Moslem stronghold remains, the city of Saragossa, under the royal king Marsil and Queen Bramimond. Marsil is certain that the defeat is inevitable, hatches a plot to rid Spain of Charlemagne. He promises to be Charlemagne's vassal and a Christian convert in the exchange for Charlemagne's departure. But once Charlemagne is back in France, Marsil will revenge on his promises.
Charlemagne and his vassals, weary of the long war, receive Marsil's messengers and try to choose an envoy to negotiate at Marsil's court on Charlemagne's behalf. Roland, a courageous knight and Charlemagne's right-hand man, nominates his stepfather Ganelon. Ganelon is enraged, thinking that Roland has nominated him for this dangerous mission in an attempt to be rid of him for good. Ganelon has long been jealous of Roland, and on his diplomatic mission, he plots with the pagans, telling them that they could ambush Charlemagne's regard as Charlemagne leaves Spain. Roland will undoubtedly lead the regard, and Ganelon promises that with Roland dead, Charlemagne will lose the will to fight.
After Ganelon returns with assurances of Marcel's good faith, Roland, as he predicted, ends up leading the rearguard. The 12 peers, Charlemagne's greatest and most beloved vassals, go with him. Among them is Oliver, a wise and prudent man and Roland's best friend. Also in the rearguard is the fiery Archbishop Turin, a clergyman who also is a great warrior. At the pass of Roncesvalles, the 20,000 Christians of the rearguard are ambushed by a vastly superior force, numbering in the hundreds of thousands. Oliver counsels Roland to blow his elephant horn to call back Charlemagne's main force, but Roland refuses. The Franks fight valiantly, but in the end they are killed.
Roland blows his Oliphant so that Charlemagne will return and avenge them. His temples burst from the force required, and he dies soon afterward. He dies facing the enemy's land, and his soul is escorted to heaven by saints and angels. Charlemagne arrives, and he and his men are overwhelmed with grief at the sight of the massacre. He pursues the pagan force, aided by a miracle of God. The sun is held in place in the sky, so that the enemy will not have cover of night. The Franks push the Saracens into the river Ebro, where those who are not chopped to pieces are drowned.
Marcel has escaped and returned to Saragossa, where the remaining Saracens are plunged into despair by their losses. But Balagant, the incredibly powerful emir of Babylon, has arrived to help his vassal. The emir goes to Roncesvalles, where the Franks are mourning and burying their dead. There is a terrible battle, climaxing with a one-on-one clash between Balagant and Charlemagne. With a touch of divine aid, Charlemagne slays Balagant, and the Saracens retreat. The Franks take Saragossa, where they destroy all Jewish and Muslim religious items and force the conversion of everyone in the city, with the exception of Queen Bramimond.
Charlemagne wants her to come to Christ of her own accord. With her captive, the Franks return to their capital. Ganelon is put on trial for treason. Pinabel, Ganelon's kinsman and a gifted speaker, nearly sways the jury to let Ganelon go. But Thierry, a brave but physically unimposing knight, says that Ganelon's revenge should not have been taken against a man in Charlemagne's service, for that constitutes treason. To decide the matter, Pinabel and Thierry fight. Though Pinabel is by far the stronger man, God intervenes, and Thierry triumphs.
The Franks draw and quarter Ganelon. They also hang 30 of his kinsmen. Charlemagne announces to all that Bramimond has decided to become a Christian. Her baptism is celebrated and all seems well. But that night the angel Gabriel comes to Charlemagne in a dream and tells him that he must depart for a new war against the pagans. Weary and weeping, but fully obedient to God, Charlemagne prepares for yet another bloody war.